Imagine that you're walking down the main street of your hometown. Your neighbor happens to be passing by and you decide to stop to chat. He seems as normal as the next person with a wife and kids of his own. You say goodbye, and then all of a sudden, the storefront TV flashes on with breaking news about a family being murdered. Although you don't know them, you feel sorrow for them and their surviving family members. You can't even fathom the thought of someone being so cruel to do such a thing. But what you don't know is that you just talked to him. That normal man on the street, your neighbor, is a killer. I'm talking about Dennis Rader. I'm going to tell you about his life, his murders, and his arrest. Dennis Rader is Kansas's most prolific serial killer. He was born in Pittsburgh, Kansas in 1945, but he grew up in Wichita with his normal family. He went on to marry and father 2 children and worked for ADT Security Services. In 1974, his life became a little less normal. Rader chose 4 family members of the Otero family to be his first. He bound Joseph, Julie, and 2 of their children, then he strangled and robbed them. He got away with that murder and went to the next. According to biography.com, Rader killed Catherine Bright by stabbing and strangulation and attempted to kill her brother Kevin. Kevin was shot twice but survived. The murders were not enough for him. He wanted fame. In October 1974, he left a note in a public library book. He wanted to be called the BTK Killer because he would find, torture, and kill his victims. Rader said, "It's hard to control myself," explaining it as though there was a monster inside of him, forcing him to commit these murders. Even with this note, he is not caught. His next murders appear in 1977. Biography.com states that he tied up and strangled Shirley Vian after locking her children in the bathroom. But yet again, he isn't caught. On December 8, 1977, he murders Nancy Fox and calls authorities to describe the murder to him. But that's not enough attention for him. So he writes a poem about his murders and sends it into the local newspaper, referencing Ted Bundy and David Berkowitz, notorious serial killers. All while this is going on, he keeps his murders secret from his family and everyone else. Rader and his wife have a son in 1975 and a daughter in 1978. They live a life together as a family that some would even envy. In 1979, Dennis graduates from Wichita State with a degree in Administration of Justice. This degree doesn't stop him from murdering, but he tries something new. Rader enters an elderly lady's home and waits for her to arrive, but ends up leaving before she returns home. He sends her a letter to inform her that the BTK Killer had been in her home. She contacts the authorities, and they decide to release the 2-year-old recording of the phone call he made to them about Nancy Fox's murder. This causes him to go still until April 27, 1985. Rader breaks into his neighbor Maureen Hedges' home and kills her. He kept this murder from the public and dumped her body on a roadside. A few more months pass until September comes along. He chooses Vicky Wargle and kills her in her home, again without notifying authorities. This brings us to his last murder, January 19, 1991. Rader took Dolores Davis from her home and killed her. 13 years pass, and the 30th anniversary of the Otero murders make him resurface. Dennis is now a Park City compliance supervisor, Boy Scout troop leader, and an active member of his church. This doesn't stop him from sending clues to the media about his murders, including a floppy disk that leads to his arrest. They used a DNA sample from his daughter to confirm it was him. He's arrested on February 25, 2005, and charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder. Rader pled guilty to all charges on June 27, 2005. He is currently serving 10 life sentences in a Kansas prison. Dennis Rader, a seemingly normal person, married father of 2, committed 10 known gruesome murders. His need for fame ended up being his demise, and the monster inside of him was revealed to the public. Remember that things are not always what they seem, and that man with an innocent smile walking his daughter down the street could hold secrets of his own.